These are the notes for the first vocab list in 7th grade, and the vocab list focuses on prefixes. Our prefixes for this list, meaning all the words are going to start with these prefixes or these letters. Our prefixes are AC, AD, and AS, which when added to a word means it's going to or toward or in that direction. And then the prefixes A and AB, which when added to a word mean the opposite. It's going away from. Some other important things to know for this word list. So as you can see, our word list on the right-hand side here and under where it says new words. Some other families or word parts that you're going to see in these words are com, which is a root that means together. You're going to see voc, involving your voice, which I don't really have in this video. You're going to see scribe or script, which means writing. You're going to see sim, which means the same or similar. And then you're going to see suffixes, which come at the end of a word. Not all words have them, but you're going to see ate, which is an action in progress or makes the word an action in progress. Ated, which means or makes the word mean an action in the past. Or just the letter Y, which makes the word mean a thing or idea. So our words are abate, abdicate, abrasion, accentuate, accolade, accompany, adhere, advocacy, ascribe, and assimilate. Let's talk about word parts here. So again, our prefixes are what we're focusing on. All of our words have one of the prefixes listed. Word families are something you're going to learn more in depth in the future when we're done focusing on prefixes. But we add a prefix to a word family, and that'll change what that word family means. And then suffixes, we add the suffix to the end of a word family, and we're always looking at suffixes. So prefixes will change every week. The suffixes we're going to see a lot, and then word families will get more specific in the future. So looking at our list here, let's make an inference. Let's practice this. I'm going to try and see if I can get my camera. I might have to close my camera. Let me close my camera so I'm out of the way. Let's practice one. So assimilate is the word we're going to practice figuring out what it means. While looking at my prefixes, it comes from as, meaning to or toward. So whatever it means, it's going to probably have something to do with direction. It has sim, which means the same or similar. So maybe in the direction of being the same or getting close to, or something about changing to be the same. And then we have ate, which means the action is in progress or it's becoming. So we have an assimilate, and I know there's some other letters in here that are not in our prefix, word family, or suffix, but we have something that kind of means in the direction of being the same and it's becoming. So we're going to come back to assimilate when we're taking our notes and see if we can figure out the definition together. These are the notes you can take, so pause to write them down. I will read each of them to you, so you can pause right now or you can pause after I read them all. It's up to you. But we have abate. It's pronounced abate, which means to become less intense. It's a verb. It's an action. The sentence, luckily, the annoyances by my little brother abated over time, means they became less intense as time went on, probably because my brother got older. Abdicate is a verb. It's pronounced abdicate. It means to leave a position or resign as king or queen. You usually only hear this word when we're talking about kings and queens, like in the sentence, the king was forced to abdicate after the scandal, to give up his throne. And remember, ab means away. It's a prefix that means away or from. So he's going away from his throne. Another form of the word abdicate is abdication. It's when we're talking about the king's abdication, the moment he gave up. Abrasion, pronounced abrasion, is the process of damaging or wearing away something by rubbing, grinding, or scraping. I think often about rocks or like water as it crashes against a rock and it wears away over time, or in earthquakes when the tectonic plates are rubbing against each other, or if you rub your pencils together, you can kind of see the paint chipping away. That's all abrasive. That's all abrasion. Or even just like getting a skinned knee or a blister, like in the sentence. That can be abrasive, which is another form of abrasion. The next word is accentuate. Accentuate. Another form of this is accent. And you might think I have an accent right now, but I just don't have a voice. I've just lost my voice and it's trying to come back. Accentuate means like you're giving something an accent, you're making it stand out or more noticeable, you're bringing attention to it. It's a verb. To accentuate positive behaviors, meaning I wanted to draw more attention to them. Miss Matthews gave the hardworking students a prize. So accentuate. Accent doesn't always have to do with voices and the way we speak. An accent could be like you have a picture that's all in black and white, but then there's an accent color that makes it stand out. It contrasts. It really brings your attention to it. The next word is accolade, pronounced accolade. It's an award or an expression of praise. Naima and Jamal received accolades for their performance in the musical. They were praised. They were awarded. Accolade. Pause to write these down. Otherwise, I'm moving on. The next words, accompany, to join someone somewhere to serve as a companion. This one's great because if you know the word company and now you know the prefix means like add to or like toward, you are going toward company. You are joining, right? You're giving company to someone else. Care to accompany me to the concert today? Another form of this word that you'll see a lot is accompanist. Usually it's someone who plays an instrument who's going to join in on a concert, like a piano player who's joining the choir as an accompanist. The next word is adhere, adhere. You've maybe heard the word adhesive. Adhesive means glue or something that's sticky. You're adhering, you're attaching, or you're sticking something firmly. Let us adhere to the group expectation. So this sentence has nothing to do with glue. It just means we're going to stick with, we're going to follow the rules. We're going to follow the expectations and honor those. So it might be about glue. It might just be about doing what was agreed upon. Next word, advocacy. Again, advocacy. It's a noun. It means the act of giving support to a cause or a proposal. Like Juan's advocacy for a better school schedule was well received. It means he supported it. His support for a better schedule, support, his advocacy. A noun would be an advocate. Juan was an advocate. He was a supporter or an advocate. What he was doing was advocate. Juan chose to advocate. And that's an action. Notice how they're spelled the same, but I pronounce them differently. Advocate, advocate, advocate person, advocate action. The next word is ascribe. Ascribe. It's when you link or credit something to someone else or to something. I ascribe my beauty and brains to my mother's genes. I give my mom credit. She is beautiful. She has brains. So I come from good genes. I ascribe that to my mom. And then we're going to talk about assimilate because I just had it on the other side and we broke it down. So remember, we had as, which means to or toward, sim, which means same, and ate, which means an action. And so I came up with a definition of in the direction of sameness becoming. In the direction of sameness becoming. Now that sounds really silly. That is not a very clear definition, but we could rearrange this and kind of talk about someone who may be becoming more similar to others. And then we'd have the actual definition, assimilate. It's a verb that means to learn or adjust as part of a new society. You're becoming more similar to that society you just joined, you just got to. So, a very common example would be if you move to a new country or a new school or a new community and they do things differently than you, your adjustment is you assimilating. Papa watched as Veronica assimilated into her new school with confidence. She's fitting in now. She has gone through assimilation. And that is the end of the notes. So you can pause and write down the rest of these.